Thank you all very much for being here, and we're going to go ahead and get started. At the end of it, Commissioner Kearns will open it for your questions.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on a beautiful sunny day. But as we know, fall in the Pacific Northwest and specifically in Spokane, the weather changes rapidly, and we're about to see that this weekend. So first, it's a good reminder, Spokane County is responsible for more than 5,100 lane miles of roads, making it the largest road system of any county in the state. So to cover such a vast area, we divide the county into 4 distinct road districts, roughly north, south, east, and west. And then we also have additional geographically dispersed locations to stage equipment to provide a rapid response. We have more than 65 employees out operating equipment, with more than a dozen additional with support and mechanical staff. We have our crews working 4 different shifts throughout the winter to give us nearly round-the-clock coverage. We run 30 snow plows, which includes Sandy trucks, 34 graders, and 4 liquid de-icing trucks. A quick reminder how we handle snow events for everybody here. When our snow is in the forecast, we get out ahead of it. We start sanding and de-icing areas like hills, curves, signed intersections, and other areas that we know from experience or tend to ice up. Once the snow arrives, we'll clear our emergency routes and primary arterials. These are followed by secondary arterials before we get into the residential neighborhoods when we have a lot of accumulation. Depending on the weather and the ebb and flow, no 2 storms are made the same. We may have to return to those emergency routes and primary routes to keep them clear so everybody is safe for travel. Just remember, it's a big network, 5,100 lane miles, and we have to clear it. So we really appreciate the public's patience when we get into these snow events. They're not all created equal. So north, south, east, and west will all have different geographically determined weather events, and so our response is always tailored to that specific region. So for a quick update on our winter operations, I'm going to turn it over to County Commissioner Josh Kearns.
All right, thank you, Kyle. So, one of the things that Spokane County used to get were angry phone calls about the berm at the foot of your driveway. But lucky for us here at the county, just several years ago, we launched a pilot program to introduce snow gates to our community, and it's been a huge success, and we have now equipped nearly every single one of our graders with those snow gates. Now, we do want to let folks know that those snow gates are used only in our residential areas, sort of those curbed neighborhood settings, not out in the rural areas where the graders have to travel at a higher rate of speed, where those gates won't be usable. But there is one thing that we ask that the folks could really help us out with and make those gates much more effective, is if you use the reflectors, those reflector flags that you can pick up and put at the bottom corners of your driveway. That'll allow our drivers to more easily see where your driveway is, to drop that gate at just the perfect point and lift it at the perfect point and release the snow. So again, those graders have been a tremendous addition to our fleet here. They don't always completely eliminate the berm, but they can definitely certainly help reduce those berms and save your back as the snow season continues on. One of the other things that we do also ask that if you have an automobile parked in the street, whether that be a car, whether that be a boat, whether an RV, even those basketball hoops that can be moved around, please get those out of the streets. There is a very high likelihood if they are left there, they will be snowed in, and those basketball hoops unfortunately tend to get tipped when the snow gets bumped into them. So that's just a thing that helps us out. Nobody wants to see stuff get knocked over, so that's just kind of that teamwork. We'd like to play your role, and we'll play our role in keeping those streets clean as well. But one of the other things that we want to also just remind folks is, if you're out there shoveling your sidewalk or your driveway, please do not put the snow into the middle of the street. That just makes it difficult, causes more hazards for the drivers, other drivers on the road. So when you're shoveling the driveway, shoveling the walkway, throw it into the yard. The kids can pile it up and make themselves little snow hills. At least that's what my kids do. So when you're out there taking care of cleaning your walkway or your driveway, please don't throw it in the street, throw it in the yard. So I'm going to hand it back over here to Kyle Tuig for a little bit more information.
Thank you, Commissioner Kearns. What you just heard is primarily about plowing snow during and after a weather event. But as you all know, ice is also a serious concern. For that, the county has both dry and liquid de-icers. We use a dry granular de-icer. It's called Ice Slicer, and it's typically used to melt compact snow and ice. The liquid de-icer is called Apex. It's used to prevent ice forming during the overnight hours. It's a preventative measure that we use. It also keeps the snow from bonding to the roadway, so it's easier to clear. And let's not forget the old reliable sand mixed with salt. Always works. It's a great product, and it always helps with traction. So in addition to de-icers and salt, for especially icy intersections or even stretches of road, the county has recently installed special devices on our graders. These new blades, and when you see them, you'll understand why they're named such as such. The blade attachment is called the shark tooth, and they chew through that layer of ice, and they can get down to the ground and give you that traction that motorists need. So with all that being said, always a reminder, the best thing that motorists can do is to slow down when roads are in poor conditions. We all need to be accountable for ourselves and each other, and the best way to do that is to drive slowly. So Commissioner Waldriff, I think you have some additional comments?
Thank you. Well, thanks everyone. Along with the snow gates and the shark teeth, I love that. I like that name. The sand, the de-icer, and there's another important component for all of us staying safe this winter season, and that's making sure that your vehicles are prepared. And so if you haven't had your vehicle serviced, you might want to take it in, check out those tires, make sure they're ready for the winter season. The hoses, the fluid levels, your tire pressure, all those good things. Recently I had a flat tire, and so, check to make sure you have a spare, and make sure your kids do too. I have a 17-year-old driver, so I'm like, oh gosh, I got to make sure she's got blankets and flashlights and everything in the trunk. So emergency supplies, water, some granola bars. Keeping your gas tank filled is really important during the winter. So cleaning the headlights. If you're traveling long distances, let people know where you're going, what route you're taking, just in case of any bad weather or emergency. Slow down. I'm going to say that again. Slow down. And remember to stay at least 50 feet behind heavy snow removal equipment and sanding trucks when you see them out on the road. And I'm going to hand it back over to Commissioner Kearns for a few last tips.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Waldriff. One of the other things just want to highlight, to piggyback on what Commissioner Waldriff was talking about, and two other great resources for just winter safety tips in general are the Red Cross website and the National Weather Service. They have some great just winter safety tips to help everybody enjoy winter as much as possible. But we're going to open it up for Q&A, and so we'll open it up to our amazing media guests we have with us here today. Wow. Are they going to go, you're going to make it this easy on us, this easy. Wow. Oh.
Is there anything new this year from previous years in terms of snow addressing in the streets?
We've really tried out several things with our de-icing products, these shark teeth, and our snow gates over the last several years. So really we're getting into full implementation of those tools. We've found that they are really effective, and so now we've committed to rolling it out on all our equipment.
Website have the maps? Mm-hmm. Website have the maps and estimations for... Okay.
Estimation, tracking.
Yeah. One of the other things I want to encourage folks to check out is on the SpokaneCounty.org website. We have maps there that show where our equipment have been, whether they're the plow trucks or the graders. So be sure to track that throughout the winter months, and it gives you a good idea too on when we may be in your neighborhood.
We're going to fire up the graders so you can see the snow gate and shark teeth. Okay, go ahead.
That is a big piece of